I heard this quote the other day by Steven Spielberg, and I had to write it down because had to read it over and over again because it resonated with me so much. And it is, very few people will ever know who you are until you are courageous enough to tell them who you are. What does that mean? Well, let me tell you why that resonated with me so much. Because I was thinking, as human beings, we are afraid sometimes to tell people who we are. So what we try to do is we put a facade on who we think they want us to be. And one of my favorite books I've ever read, I think it should be mandatory reading for everybody, is The Courage to be Disliked. The Courage to be Disliked. And you know, what does this mean? See, as sales professionals, we are constantly working to get people to like us because we've heard things like people buy from people they like, people buy from people they trust, which is true. People buy from people they like, people buy from people they trust. That is true. But what constitutes getting people to like us? I think, and I'm gonna go totally maybe blow your mind here, and you might totally disagree with me. But I think it takes no courage to be liked. It takes extreme courage to be disliked. And so am I asking you to have your buyers dislike you? No, not at all. That's not what I'm saying. But in order to be liked by everybody, you have to be untrue to yourself, I believe. I don't think we live in a society where everybody's going to like you. I was just having this conversation with somebody earlier today that some people aren't going to resonate with you. Simon Sinek says in his great TED Talk, the goal in business is not to do business with people that want what you have. The goal in business is to do business with people that believe what you believe. Now, in order to do that, you have to act on your intent. You have to act on what you believe. And so, as a sales professional, what's most important is not to be courageous to get everybody to like you. Be courageous to understand that some people are not going to like you, that some people are not going to buy from you. Well, what does that mean? That means speak what you believe to be true. Speak from your intent. Tell people what you believe. Tell people what your role is. Tell people what your opinions are. Tell people what you believe is the right decision for them to make. Help them make that decision by being that primary source of confidence, but understand that you have to be true to yourself. I spent so many years worrying about whether people and customers were going to like me. But what I really am afraid of now is losing myself in my effort to get people to like me, being untrue to me. As a sales professional, you have to be true. Now, that doesn't mean don't be cordial, don't be friendly, don't be all those things we talked about. But speak with intent, speak with purpose, and understanding that there are going to be buyers that are just not going to resonate with you. I give hundreds of talks every year. And I'm well aware that there are people that my talks don't resonate with. But I don't mold my talk to what I think people want to hear that is against what I believe. I don't stand on stage and say, well, this will resonate with them, so I'll say it even if I don't believe it. But we do that as sales professionals. We tell them things that we don't believe to be true. We tell them things that we think they want to hear, I think sometimes. And I think that we have to be courageous enough to stand in our intent. I asked somebody the other day, I said, if I questioned you about your religion and your faith, what would you say? And she goes, well, what do you mean? If I said, hey, I don't think you believe in what you believe in, I don't agree with that. She said, well, I would debate you. I would stand up to you. I said, why? She goes, because I believe what I believe. I said, well, what if I question you about your family values and how you raise your kids and how you raise family values? I would absolutely stand up to you. I said, then why do we back down from customers and try to put a facade on what we think they want us to see instead of just be true to ourselves? Be true to you. I think that the speaking from a place of belief and understanding and having courage to do that, courage to say how you honestly feel, courage to have honest conversations and radical transparency, I think will lead us to higher conversion rates. And when you do this, when you speak with intent, when you speak with what you believe, when you tell people what you do, this is what I believe to be true. I'm going to take courage in saying what I believe to be true, understanding that you may not agree with it. But as the expert, I'm going to say what I believe to be true. I do not peddle in trying to appease you, trying to get you to like me. I'm trying to just speak about what I believe, and if you like me, that's awesome. If I don't resonate with you, I understand that as well. When you do that, you go back to what Simon Sinek believes that business is, and that is trying to get people, do business with people that believe what you believe, not just want what you have.